What exactly is a proportion? A proportion is when you have two ratios, numbers described by division, that are the exact same. So 1/2 is also equal to, well, you could think of a few different ways. 1½ is also equal to 2/4. It's also equal to 3/6. It's also equal to 100 2/100. So these would all be examples of proportions. But what happens when one of the numbers disappears and you are left with a variable? There are two different ways for you to solve. First one, x divided by 4. Well, we don't like that fraction, so why don't we just eliminate it? You can eliminate a fraction by multiplying by its denominator. In this case, we'd multiply by 4, multiply the other side by 4, because we still have to be fair. 4 divided by 4 is 1. It cancels itself out. 1x equals, well, 4 times 1/2. How do you multiply a whole number by a fraction? You turn the whole number into a fraction, and 4 divided by 1 is still 4. Now you multiply the numerators, and then you multiply the denominators. 4 times 1 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So we solved right here our variable by eliminating the fraction, and we know that this was a 2 because it was a 2 before I erased it. There's another method that will work for more complex problems. It's where you cross-multiply. Let's take a look. If we cross-multiply this true proportion here, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 1 is also 4. So the cross products, multiplication, product, those are the same word. They represent the same operation. Cross products are equal in proportions. We can use that information to assist us in solving more complex problems. For example, doesn't this problem just look fun to solve? There's a lot going on here. We've got some distribution on top that we can play Angry Birds with. And then we'll have proportions. Let's do the distribution first before we cross-multiply. -3 times x is -3x. -3 times -2 is +6. The 4 doesn't change, so it's still on the denominator. The negative sign distributes to the x, so you have -x. And the negative sign distributes to the +1, which is -1. And the 3 hasn't changed. Now, like I said, we need to cross-multiply because cross products in proportions are equivalent. So 4 times -x is -4x. And 4 times -1 is -4. We know that that cross product is going to be equal to this cross product. 3 times -3 is -9x. And 3 times 6 is 18, +18. Now we've got a multi-step equation with variables on both sides. We don't want variables on both sides. So what we'll do is reunite the x's. We add 9x because negative 9x plus 9x will get it down to 0. It will eliminate the variable on this right side of the equation. But in order to be fair, we have to do it to both sides. We're now left with negative 4x plus 9x, which is 5x. We didn't do anything with the 4, so that goes down. And then that should equal 18. I'm going to rewrite this up here so we have slightly more room. 5x minus 4 equals 18. Now we focus on our addition or subtraction first. This problem looks a little familiar. We add 4 to both sides. Now you have 5x equals 22. In our very last step, we have 5 times x. So to isolate for the variable, we need to do the opposite operation. We will divide both sides by 5. 5's cancel out. 5 divided by 5 is just 1. So x equals 22 fifths. What a beautiful, beautiful answer 22 fifths is, right? So today we learned about proportions, how proportions are ratios that are equivalent. And in order to solve for them, you either need to eliminate the fraction or you need to cross multiply because the cross products in a proportion are equal. Thank you.